Hello people and welcome to this new class in where we are going to talk about a new plugin in Sketchup called VERAS. This plugin is about AI powered visualization and is one of the best right now, currently. As you already know, this new technology is under developing, so it means that this plugin is in its childhood, I would say. Anyways, it is incredible and it has a lot of power to help us in our designs. So first of all, I recommend you to go to the VERAS website. You only have to type in VERAS in Google. You will find it easily. And then once you are here, if you want to download this plugin, scroll down and finally here you will find this option, Windows free trial. Just click on it, start the download process, and when you open your Sketchup again, you will find this plugin already installed. Here we have the icon. If you don't find it, remember, go to this upper bar, right click, and look for the VERAS plugin. Good. Once we are here, let's see how this plugin works and what he can do. First of all, keep in mind that you have two main options. You can use this plugin with your 3D models or with images, JPEG images or whatever. So let's start with the 3D models. Let's use in this case this auditorium, this 3D model, which we already learned how to model during the course, and it is attached with the course. You can use it by yourself. And then let's first of all place the camera in a good position. For example, I think that here could be nice. I will use the hand, maybe here, and let's save this scene. Create a scene, here we are. Then we click on the VERAS plugin. One click on here. Pay attention now, because the plugin is going to ask us for our email. In this free trial version, we'll be able to make 30 renders with each email, but we will be able as well to change the email. So eventually we can use it endlessly. As far as I already used and consumed the renders associated with my email, I will make up a new one. For example, manuel3gmail.com. Next, one random password. Make sure that you will remember it. That's all. Save. And here we are inside the plugin. You will see that it works in a very easy way. You can even read these tips. I will close it because during this class the tips come from me. And first of all, we see up here three levels: explore, compose, and refine. We have here our canvas, some prompts done by default by the plugin, and up here one button just for saving our renders, our images, in a specific folder. If we move to the right, we can play with the settings and just log out. Above this bar, look carefully, because here we can read renders remaining, still 30, because we haven't used any of them. And of course we can buy the plugin and have more benefits. Furthermore, in the left side we have the option for saving the selected image as whatever. We can hide the original renderings and then compare our new images with the previous one, and we can even refresh the preview image. But currently on our canvas we see that the building is not complete. So if I come back to the SketchUp canvas, I will have to adjust my camera, and here the first tip is to place the building in the middle and give it some air around. For example, here I will update the scene. Update. Come back to the plugin and then refresh. We can check the improvement, but still is not 100% correct. So we repeat the process. I will move a little bit the building to the left. I will update the scene. We go to the VERAS plugin and we refresh the preview image. Here we are. Now it's perfect. So let's start using this first menu on the right side, which is associated with this label, Explore. What we find here is 9 prompts made by default by the plugin. And what is a prompt? What a prompt means? Well, we can read here, prompt, and then modern design with large windows, timber building during autumn, and some specifications about the strength 60, the geometry override 0, and the material override. So the prompts are words which we create in order to give to the AI some information about what we want. Then the AI will create something accordingly to those words. The more quality and the more information the prompts have, the better image the AI will do. That is how it works. We can even buy prompts in other websites. We can find as well free prompts, and we can create our own prompts based in our experience. We will become better and better with the prompts. So this one, the title is Timber Autumn Realistic. But if we change to the next one, the title is Forest Rain Realistic, and then the prompt is different. So just explore those prompts, and let's make our first proof. As far as this building is quite modern, let's go here to this prompt, which is called parametric X massing, and the prompt says articulated facade, rectilinear, high contrast surfaces with sharp edges and sharp corners, reflective and made mosaic surfaces, glass and steel, and so on. Then we have the width and the height of the image. In the free version, we cannot change these dimensions. Once we are happy, we hit render. We'll have to wait accordingly with the power of our computer, and once it is done, we have here our first image. Not bad. So this is when the game starts for you. You have to compare the image with the prompts, change the prompts, and play with the settings, and so on. Anyways, we have here our first image, which is gonna be saved automatically in a specific folder. If I go here, one click, then by default the plugin is gonna save the images in this folder called renderings inside this root. But I recommend you to go to the settings, and then here we can read saved renderings folder path. We can change that path and make a new one easier for us. For example, I have mine placed in a folder called images, easy to catch, and the name of that folder in my case is VERAS. Once this is explained, let's move on to the next label. So this label, this option here called compose, will allow us to customize our, let's say, settings to get a very personal image. Let's understand then the meaning of these different attributes. First of all, we have geometry override and a value, in this case 75, associated with this slider. So the less this value is, the more respect the AI will have with our project, with the geometry of our project. So imagine that we move this slide bar completely to the left, geometry override value 0, it means that in theory the AI will not change at all the geometry. Based on my experience, on the proofs I already made, I have to say that still with this value, with 0, the geometry sometimes is changing. On the contrary, if we move the slide bar completely to the right, we'll be allowing the AI to change dramatically the geometry of our project. Let's jump now to the next attribute, material override. You can imagine now the meaning. Maximum value means that the materials that we are using already in our project, or the materials that are already applied in our image, will be completely override, will change dramatically. If we move this slide bar to the left, value 0, then we will not allow the AI to change the material. Anyways, as it happened with the geometry, materials will be changed. Little, but they will be changed. Then we have the width and height, and 4 different levels. They can be on or off. Now we have the turbo nature level on and this atmospheric level. we can turn off them, and as you can imagine, because it is very intuitive, if we turn on the first one, interior, the AI will create something specific about interiors. This one is for aerial views. Turbo Nature is in order to allow the AI to create more things related with nature, and atmospheric is playing with shadows, sun, and mainly with the fog. Then we find here a box in where we have all of our prompts. I can erase all of them and write whatever I have in my head. This is one of the funny things about this new technology. And talking about prompts, I have to say that we have to learn a lot. It's not that easy as you can imagine. When you start writing down your own prompts, you will see that maybe you don't have as many ideas as you wish. That is the reason because sometimes we will use prompts from different websites in order to help us. So what I want to explain here is that maybe there should be one specific lesson just talking about prompts. Anyways, for this example, I will write here Zaha Hadid. I am sure that you know this amazing architect, and the good thing about Zaha Hadid is that her architecture is very unique. Then we have this another slide bar called prompt strength. This is talking about, again, the tolerance for following the prompt. Then we find this button called seed, and as I told you before, it's not possible to use it in this trial version. Summing up, seed means that we will be able to use one code already used in one image that we already like, and then we want to use that code in order to generate another image similar. Because the thing here, and this is something new, is that with the same values, the AI will generate different images every time. So if we are able to keep the seed, that code of one specific image, then we'll be able as well to control more the final result of our image. So let's go with our first experiment. Geometry override 100, material override 100, width and height we cannot touch it. As interior, no. As aerial view, could be. Turbo Nature, no. Atmospheric, no. Prompt, Zaha Hadid. Prompt strength 100. Render. And here we have the result after 12 seconds, 0.7 in my case. As you can check, the geometry is quite different. Materials so-so, because we are working with a 3D model in Sketchup in where we didn't apply materials. We just have glass and white walls, that's all. And the prompt, Zaha Hadid, is clearly visible in this image. So let's do another render without touching anything. Here we are. A completely different image, a completely different building with the same settings. In my opinion, this one is more attractive. I really like it, to be honest. It could be a building from Venus or Saturn, something like that. I could imagine aliens walking around here. So anyways, let's change now the settings. Geometry override 0, material override 0. And we keep this aerial view on, and the prompt Zaha Hadid, we keep it as well. Prompt strength 100%. Render. As you can check, the result here is poor. The geometry didn't change at all. Materials a little bit. If we want to compare this image with the original one, we can go here to this eye, click, and then we can compare both models. So, final try. Geometry override, this time, let's say 65. Material override 70. The rest of the attributes are not touched. Render. And here we are. Let's compare this image with the previous model. We can check the geometry is different, materials as well, and we still have something related with Zaha Hadid, but to be honest, I don't like this building. I will make another proof. This one looks a little bit better, but still I don't like it too much. So let's become crazy. Geometry override 100, 100 material override. Let's click on all these labels all together on prompt Zaha Hadid, and let's add something else. Reflective glass, urban city background, futuristic sky, people around, and that's all. Prompt strength 100. Render. And look, we lost completely our 3D model, and now we have two glass boxes floating in the middle of a forest. Well, this is not even close to what I was looking for. Let's do another test. And here we are. So as you can see, we have to balance the intensity of our slide bars, otherwise we lose control completely. Imagine now that we choose, for example, this image as our favorite one, and then we want to refine something. We have this option, this third label called refine. We should now select some specific area that we want to refine. One click on here, and then we can start selecting a new area in our image that we want to refine. We close this area. We can modify the previous values, which are already here, the values that we used for doing this image, or we can just click on render selection. And here we have another version for that facade. Maybe we like it even more or even less, I don't know. To finish this lesson, I'll explain you rapidly how we should use this plugin in case that we want to use images instead of 3D models. So first of all, we have to go to File and Import. Then we select our image, Import. We place our image in our canvas. And then let's rotate this image, as we already know how to do it in Sketchup. Once it is well placed, we again have to just place the camera in the correct position. We can again make a scene, and we go to the VERAS plugin and we refresh our canvas. Exactly the same as we did before. If you find problems refreshing, then log out and log in again. Here we are. We correct a little bit the position, update the scene, we go back to our plugin, we refresh the image, and once we are happy, we start playing with the plugin as we already know. If I use a default prompt, for example the first one, render, we can check the result and compare it with our previous image. Let's use now this another style. Here we have our living room. Let's compare with the previous and original one, and the result is quite interesting, right? So if we want to play with this image, it is the same as we did before. Remember that we have 30 shots, and then you just have to change the email. Well, time to say goodbye, but firstly I would like to remind you that this plugin was born just few weeks, 1 month, 2 months maximum ago. So it is a baby. Imagine the things that he will do in the future. The power inside is endless, and it will transform completely our way of working. So don't doubt that I will be updating the course with important advances, important improvements related with AI, with this plugin, and with new technologies which can appear suddenly in the next years.